All right, so we have just finished talking about how to edit the header of our website, how to edit the menu, and now we're going to talk about how to edit the footer. And spoiler alert, if you've already watched the video about editing the header, you pretty much already know what to do. So just for reference, I'm going to go back to the front end of the website and scroll all the way down to the bottom. And when I refer to the footer, I am, of course, referring to this very bottommost part of the website. So I'm going to go back to my back end and we're going to hover over Appearance, Customize. And when the customizer opens, we have the third option in the list, which is footer, and we'll click into there. And just like the header area did, we immediately got this panel coming across the screen. And I'm going to scroll to the bottom so that we can actually see these changes taking effect. But just like the header, we have a top row, a middle row, and a bottom row. And we're not using the top row in this example, but we do have widgets in the middle row and the bottom row. And we have different widgets available to us in the footer than we did in the header. So if you do want to use the top row, you could click this plus sign and you actually have more widget options available. So you could add a footer navigation, and then we have widgets 3, 4, 5, and 6 that are just blank widgets where you can put anything in them, and we'll explain that when we look at these widgets. Now, if I wanted to change the background color, of course, I can click on this little gear icon, and that's going to open up the footer middle customizer menu. And I have the general tab and I have the design tab. You can feel free to play around with any of the settings that are in this general tab, by the way. It's just already set up for you. So if you don't really know what you're doing very well, or you're kind of don't want to mess things up too much, then you don't have to mess with any of this. But if you want to, feel free. Otherwise, just head to the design tab, and probably the main thing we want to do here is, how do I change the background color? So when you updated your global color palette, you may already be happy with what you saw there, but if not, this is where you would change that color. I'll drag it up here, and you guys will have to forgive me because I keep on changing colors and calling it hot pink, but it's actually bright red. And the reason I'm doing that is because I have blue light blocking glasses on, and they're very orange tinted, and so they make things look a lot different than they are. So forgive me for calling red pink if you've been wondering why I did that in the last video, in the last however many videos. Anyway, so that's how you can change that background color. And then you can also start clicking into these widgets. So this is widget 1, and inside of widget 1, I have simply just put an image block. So if I wanted to add something else in here, first of all, I can click on that, and then I can click replace, and I could open my media library, and I could choose something different that I already have in here, or I could upload a new file. And if I wanted to remove this block altogether, I could click on these 3 dots, and down here at the bottom I have delete. And so immediately that change takes effect. It's not published on the website yet. And also, if I didn't really want to do that and I made an accident, I have this little undo button right here, which is really handy. So anyway, I could also, though, we're going to talk about blocks when we talk about editing the page, but I could also add something completely different than an image here. So if I wanted to add a new block, I'm going to click browse all, and don't get overwhelmed by this because we'll talk about it in a little bit. But like, I could add a gallery right here, and then I could go in and I could select different images out of my media library to put in the gallery and insert that. And then look, I have a gallery in my footer. So I'm going to remove this. And we'll get more into blocks in the future, so you'll learn more about the different blocks that you have available for editing and building your website. But like I said previously, this is already set up for you. So if you don't really want to change any of this stuff, you don't have to. You could literally just go ahead and replace this with your logo and then call it a day. Click into widget 2. So I'll hover over this and we'll click the pencil this time to get into this one. This one's a little bit hard to see because of the fonts. but this is also going to be kind of different. So the block I'm using here is actually an advanced text block, and I can edit this. First of all, when I click on each one of these links, I can click on this little pencil and then I can actually edit the link. These are going to like the about page, the service page, and then this last one, which is awesome freebie. I just have the hashtag in there, which, doesn't open anything. It just makes it a fake link. But you would put your own link in here, expand that advanced tab right there, and you can open it in a new tab if you want to. If you wanted to, you could just break this link, or you can highlight that in backspace and then get rid of it altogether. So anyway, I'll undo and undo so we have it set back to how it was before. You can also, in order to change the color of these text links, you're going to want to click on these three dots, which is the options, and then click on show more settings. And then this is going to open block settings. And like I said, we're going to get more in detail on this when we talk about editing page content, but this is a sneak preview for you. So just generally, there's a general tab, a style tab, and an advanced tab. And I can scroll down here and I have link settings. So look, I have link color. The link color, I have it set to this tan. Let's make it that darker pink so you can see the change. Okay, and then you can also change the hover color. So then when I hover, it's dark. So now you know that is there and you can change those things. So we have again the social widget, which we already saw in our header video, but I'll click the gear icon to edit these, and these are going to be set up already. So basically add or remove any that you want from here. Like when we were in the header, we removed Spotify, but these are independent of each other. So you can remove Spotify here, and I believe, yeah, it's still inside of the header. So anyway, scroll down, click into set social links, and this is where you're going to want to set up those links to make sure that you have them going to your profiles. Now, what should happen is if I had saved my changes in the header video and like I had put in the Facebook or the Instagram URL, those would still be here. So once you set them up inside of the header, they will already be set up when you get to editing your footer. So that's just an FYI. Let's go back, and then let's go back into footer again. Okay. So we have the social links, and then down here, there's a little copyright. So if you wanted to, I would appreciate it if you wanted to leave my link here, but that's where you can change. Well, this is automatically going to update the site title of your website. So this is the site title. I put mine as 17 Ave, if you'll remember, but whatever you put as your site title is going to show up right here. And then this copyright is going to update every year for you, so you can never have to edit that at all. So yeah, that is how to edit the footer. And we're going to get into editing the page content next.